Hi, I'm Holly Andrews. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. It's almost St. Patrick's Day, and that means flavorful, yummy foods like shamrock shakes and Reubens. Man, do I love a good Reuben. I'm a sucker for a good Reuben. But let's be honest, they often are not very healthy options for us and can easily derail us from our health goals. So I want to share with you a couple of healthier, protein-packed options that will still give you the same delicious flavor without, destroying your health goals. So first up, let's talk about the shamrock shake. The classic shamrock shake that you would go to the restaurant and buy, a small one has 500 calories. And let's be honest, who actually gets the small shakes? Not me. So that said, a small one has 500 calories, 14 grams of fat, 82 grams of carbohydrates, only 11 grams of protein, but get this, 63 grams of sugar, 51 of which are added sugars. Y'all, that's 2 times more added sugar per day than is recommended for children by the American Heart Association. That's really scary to me. So my version of the shamrock shake, the copycat version, is protein packed, only has 167 calories, 5 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 26 grams of protein, and only 2 grams of sugar with no added sugars. So this makes a really wonderful treat for you or your kiddos, either after school or maybe you post-workout. It's gonna give you all that protein, but still all that flavor that we know and love. To make the copycat shamrock shake, you're gonna need just a few ingredients. You're going to need a scoop of vanilla protein powder. So I have here my vanilla whey protein powder from OPTAVIA, which is my preference. It's clean, it's Informed Sport certified, gluten-free, so I know I'm getting really good clean ingredients with this one, but any vanilla protein powder that you choose or have on hand will work. Or if you're on an OPTAVIA weight loss plan, you can use the vanilla shake mix instead of the protein powder so that it would count as a fueling and a really yummy snack. You're gonna need some almond milk. I prefer the unsweetened vanilla almond milk here. Again, if you're on an OPTAVIA weight loss plan, this is gonna count as a condiment, 1 cup. Then you're gonna want some mint extract or peppermint extract. I have peppermint, so that's what I'm gonna be using. And then to give it that fun green color, you're obviously gonna need some green food coloring. I prefer the Watkins food coloring. There's no artificial dyes that they use, and that's important to me, so that's what I'm choosing to use. But any green food coloring you want will work, or will work. Also, if you want to add some extra nutrition into this shake, you can also throw in half a cup of spinach, or if you want to hide some things from your kids, that half a cup of spinach and a half a frozen banana, that would work really, really well. So you can play with this and make it your own. I'm not going to use the spinach or banana today when I do this, but just know that that is an option for you. So let's make our shake. All right, so I am going to start by adding 8 ounces of the almond milk to my blender bottle here. Ooh, just enough. All right. Then I am actually going to throw in some crushed ice just to make sure it's nice and frothy. All right, that's about half a cup of crushed ice. I am then going to add in my scoop of protein powder. All right, so there's that. And then I've got my peppermint extract here. So I'm just gonna do about 3 drops or, a quarter teaspoon, depends on how minty you like things. And then about 2 or 3 drops of my green food coloring. And then we're going to blend it up and have ourselves a really yummy treat. All right, so I clearly need more green food coloring. It does take a little bit more food coloring with the natural food dyes, but also if that's not important to you, skip the food coloring altogether. But I do kind of want to try to make this look fun. So I can smell the mint though. It smells really good. All right, it is green. I promise it's green. It may not look like it on the camera, but it is green. All right, so there you have it. Stick that straw in there. Cheers. Next up, we are going to make our healthy Reuben sandwich. So my version of the Reuben sandwich is a much healthier option. Again, giving you all of the same flavors, but let's talk about the difference. So if I were to go down the road to an Arby's and order a Reuben sandwich from them, this is what the nutritional facts from their website say. Their sandwich is 680 calories, 31 grams of fat, 62 grams of carbs, 37 grams of protein, and 5 grams of sugar. The version that I'm gonna make today only has 334 calories, 16.5 grams of fat, which is half the amount in the Arby's sandwich, only 10 grams of carbs, which is a sixth of what's in the Arby's sandwich, 36 grams of protein, which is 1 gram less of protein, but you're getting so many more health benefits by reducing the carbs and the calories, and then only 2 grams of sugar. So overall, right, a very healthy option to give you all of those St. Patrick's Day flavors. So in order to make the sandwich my way, you're gonna need some sort of cauliflower thins. I prefer these cauliflower slims from Trader Joe's. I don't have a Trader Joe's near me, so anytime I buy one, I stock up on these and keep them in my freezer. So I hope that's a great tip for you. They do freeze really, really well, will keep. So they come in a pack of 4 to a pack, and so we're gonna use 2 of them. Then you're gonna need some deli corned beef. This is the Boar's Head corned beef from Publix. I buy that because it is gluten-free, and at the moment we are a completely gluten-free house. You're going to need some sauerkraut. Again, I bought the Boar's Head version because I know it's gluten-free, but if you are on a sodium restricted diet, I'm sure you're going, I cannot have this. And that may be the case, right? This overall may be too high of a sodium meal for you. But if you want to reduce the sodium content, take your half a cup of sauerkraut that we're going to use in this sandwich, rinse it under some water, and then pat it dry. That will reduce quite a bit of the sodium for you just from the sauerkraut. So tip for you there. Then you're gonna obviously want some cheese. I use the ultra thin sliced cheese from Sargento. The usual recipe calls for Swiss. I prefer provolone, so that's what I'm gonna use today, but Swiss works just fine. And then for the dressing, I'm actually gonna make our own sauce, but you can use a light Thousand Island dressing or the Walden's Farms Thousand Island dressing that has no fat in it, but I'm gonna make my own today and show you how I do that with some Greek yogurt, no sugar added ketchup, a little bit of spices like garlic powder and onion powder, some apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of dill pickle juice. You can also chop up some dill pickles to add to the sauce. I'm not going to do that today, but that's another option. So let's make the sandwich. Okay, so to make this sandwich, and especially since my cauliflower slims are frozen, I am going to do all of this in the toaster oven, but I'm going to line my toaster oven pan with some aluminum foil for easy cleanup. Give it a little bit of spray of olive oil spray for non-stick. Place my 2 cauliflower slims on the tray and then pop them in the toaster oven on toast just to help them thaw and start to get a little bit crispy. So while that is toasting, I am going to go ahead and rinse off, I should say, my sauerkraut. So I'm going to measure out half a cup of the sauerkraut. I'm going to try to do this without spilling the kraut juice everywhere. I'm going to measure out half the cup of the sauerkraut. Give it a good rinse. That works. All right. Have my little colander bowl here. Make sure my water is good. Just kind of rinse that out and give it a good shake. Let it drain really well. And then I may pat it dry here in a little bit. I am also gonna weigh out my corned beef. All right, I need 3 ounces of corned beef for this sandwich. So this corned beef that I got from the deli, I had it sliced sandwich thickness. All right, so that's 1.5 ounces. So I'm probably gonna line up with about 2 full slices of the corned beef. Yep, perfect. That is exactly 3 ounces. So corned beef is ready and the toaster oven is about to go off. All right, so our cauliflower slims are nice and toasted. They got a little extra toasty, but that's okay. I am good with that. So we're gonna go ahead and build our sandwich. So I'm gonna take our corned beef here that we weighed out and just kind of gently get that placed on 1 slice of bread. I'm going to add our sauerkraut to the other side. And then I'm gonna stick this back in the toaster oven for a few minutes to heat up the the corned beef and the sauerkraut while we make our sauce. All right, so to make the sauce, I am going to measure out and we're gonna mix together 1.5 tablespoons of this non-fat plain Greek yogurt, a 1/2 tablespoon of this no sugar added ketchup. Goodness. Okay. And again, you can use store-bought Thousand Island dressing. I just prefer to make my own. We're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of this apple cider vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of dill pickle juice, and yes, I am just going to reach in there and grab some. Again, you can chop up some dill pickles if you would like to add it to your sauce to make it quote unquote a little bit more authentic. I'm choosing not to do that today, but you can totally do that. Then I'm just going to give a little dash of onion powder and a little dash of garlic powder. And mix it together. If you like a sweeter sauce, then you can totally add in some stevia to make it sweeter. I don't really care for mine all that sweet, but there you go. This, also adds to the protein count of the sandwich by using the Greek yogurt. So it's just a really good option that doesn't have any extra fillers or any added ingredients that we don't necessarily want. So I'm gonna go check the sandwich and be right back. All right, so the sandwich is nice and warm. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually steaming. So I am gonna go ahead and stick my slice of cheese on top of the meat, add my sauce on top of that, spread that around nicely. Oh, you guys, I cannot wait to try this. All right, and then I'm gonna very carefully pick up this half with the sauerkraut on it and flip it over. So, and then I'm gonna stick it back in again, just for a few seconds to let the cheese melt. All right, it's done. We're gonna pull it out and plate it up. Ooh, doesn't that look beautiful? All right, y'all, food stylist I am not, but here is the finished sandwich. Doesn't that look so yummy? All the wonderful flavors of a classic Reuben without all the calories, extra carbs, extra fat, and all of that stuff that we don't really need or necessarily want to help us feel our best. I forgot to mention that you can also make this Reuben sandwich with the OPTAVIA cheddar biscuit mix if you want to use that instead of the cauliflower slims as your bread. So I make mine in the air fryer. It turns out really, really well. Nice and crispy and crunchy and ooey gooey like we want on the inside. Not gooey, but you know what I mean. Soft on the inside, I guess I should say. So if you want to use the cheddar biscuit instead of the cauliflower slims to make the Reuben sandwich, I personally would recommend following the air fryer instructions and then just slicing the biscuit in half to use as your bread. So check out the link below for the Shamrock Copycat protein shake recipe, as well as the full recipe for the healthy Reuben. I hope that you have the luck of the Irish this St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy yourself, and thanks for watching.